ताल से ताल मिला हो. What do you mean by taal? When it comes to Indian music, the term taal is very frequently used. Rag taal, sur taal. But what do you really mean by the term taal? Hi, this is Anuja and welcome to Out of the Shruti Box. In the previous episode, we spoke about the concept of rhythm. Now, the concept of rhythm in Hindustani music, in the context of Hindustani music or Indian music in general, is called tal. We've seen that units of sounds and or silences, they form a pattern and which gets repeated. This pattern is called rhythm. And when it comes to tal, these units of sounds and silences, each unit is called matra. So every tal has a set number of matras. Let's take for example teen tal. Teen tal has 16 matras, while jhap tal has 10 matras, or dadra tal has 6 matras, and so on. Now it's not just enough for a tal to have a certain number of matras. These matras are further divided into smaller groups or sections or divisions called as khand. So let's say teen tal. Teen tal has 16 matras, but it is systematically divided into 4 khands of 4 matras each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The second example I would like to give y'all when it comes to the concept of khand is the example of Jhumra tal and Ada Chautal. Both Jhumra and Ada Chautal have 14 matras each, but let's look at Jhumra. In Jhumra, the matras are divided into 4 sections of 3 4 3 4 beats. So it would be 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. That's Jhumra. But Ada Chautal on the other hand, again it has 14 matras, but these matras are divided into 7 sections of 2 beats each. So that would go 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay. So a tal has matras and it has khands. So now it's test time, okay? If I ask you which is the tal which has 16 matras, which are then divided into 4 khands of 4 matras each, that is teen tal. No, I think she's talking about Tilwada. What are you saying, guys? I think she's talking about Chachar. Nah. It's definitely Adha Punjabi tal. Yeah, alright. So, what exactly is the right answer? The truth is that all 4 of them were correct. This means that you can have many tals with the exact same number of matras and exact same division structure. In that case, what makes the difference? The difference lies with the syllable attached to each matra, which is called bol. The concept of tal was developed by musicians who mainly played the percussion instruments of pakhavaj and tabla. So what happened is that the sounds produced by the tabla and the pakhavaj, they got incorporated as the syllable sounds in the tal. So you have a different set of tals for tabla and you have a different set of tals for pakhavaj. So teen tal is actually a tabla tal, and the syllables, the bol of this tal is dha dhin dhin dha dha dhin dhin dha dha tin tin ta ta dhin dhin dha dha. Now let's take a pakhavaj tal. A very popular pakhavaj tal would be Chautal of 12 matras. Dha dha din ta kit dha din ta kit tak gadi gan dha. Now when you compare tabla tals to pakhavaj tals, you will realize that pakhavaj has syllables which are slightly more bassier in nature as compared to the tabla sounds. Like tabla tal would have the sounds like dhin or tirakit, while pakhavaj would have the sounds of din, kitatak gadigan. These are slightly more bassier in nature. The difference is, well, it's quite minute, but it does make a lot of difference. Then comes the concept of sam and avartan. Sam or samay is nothing but the first matra of the tal, and it's a tradition in Indian music to sing the tal, and when you end it, you do not end it on the last matra, you come back to the first matra or the sam, which means that you're not treating the tal in a linear way, you're actually treating it as a cycle. It's a very cyclical concept. Tal is a cyclical concept. So if I have to sing teen tal, it would be dha, dhin, dhin, dha, dha, dhin, dhin, dha, dha, tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, dha, dha. You come back to the first matra. And finally, we'll come to this mysterious concept of what is called khali. Now, a lot of people do not understand what khali actually is and what is the function of khali in a tal, but let me clarify it for you. Tals in Hindustani music, they have a lot of matras, right? So they can turn out to be very monotonous in nature. What khali does is that khali is actually a syllable which comes in the tal, and it kind of breaks that tone monotony. It adds this kind of masala to the tal, or it acts like a climax of the tal. The khali is generally a syllable which is higher in pitch, like ta or tin instead of dha and dhin, which are bassier, right? So ta and tin higher pitch, it just adds to a change in expression. Let's take the example of teen tal, where the khali comes in between, comes in the third khand. Dha, dhin, dhin, dha, dha, dhin, dhin, dha, dha, tin, tin, ta, ta, dhin, dhin, dha, dha. So you see how the expression changed and it broke the monotony. Again, a lot of musicians think that khali comes in between the tal, but that's not really the case. We have tals which have more than one khali. You also have tal like rupak, okay, rupak tal, which has khali coming on the sum. So it starts with a very high expression. Ti ti na dhi na dhi na, ti ti na dhi na dhi na. So essentially khali just gets in that excitement climax factor. Alright, this is it for today's episode. If you like this initiative of mine, then do share this video with your like-minded friends, like the video, and if you're new to this channel, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon. I will see you in the coming episodes. Till then, peace.